Alright guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Kirby Canvas Curse for the Nintendo DS. My friend actually gave this to me a few days ago for free, so I didn't have to pay for it, and I was really happy he gave it to me. But, and I'll be showing this in my game update collection, which will be happening later this week, so I hope you guys stay tuned and to check that out. But, to stay here with the review for Canvas Curse, if you are a huge fan of the original platform Kirby for the Super Nintendo or the original Game Boy, Nightmare in Dreamland for the Game Boy Advance, things like that, one of my favorites was Crystal Shards for the N64. If you're a fan of those kind of games, this is a forewarning. This is not that game. This is in no way the original Kirby game. And as you can see in the front cover, he's a little tiny sphere, basically like a little pinball almost. And you have to guide him with like this little rainbow with your stylus. And as you might be able to see here, you can't really see it, the pictures are kind of bad. I'm going to pick up my DS here and play it for a little bit for you guys. But it's in no way the same as the original Kirby games. And, I think it was kind of a nice step for Nintendo to kind of go out of the box and try something new. But I don't think this is a title that we'll see a sequel for. I definitely was not very impressed with this game. I'm glad that they went out of the Nintendo, stepped out of the box and tried something new, but it's definitely not something I'd like to see a sequel for. It's not very fun. It gets really repetitive very quickly, and quite frankly, it's very frustrating and kind of annoying. Once I got to about this, there's like 8 chapters in the game, and each chapter has about 3 levels in it, and I pretty much wanted to tear my eyeballs out by the 7th chapter because you're trying to draw lines all over the place like a madman, and it's just really annoying and really not that great of a game. Although, if you're a DS collector like myself, this is a nice game to have in your collection. And honestly, I think the box art is actually pretty cool, so I think it's a game worth having. It's just not very great, and you can't expect much from it. So here you kind of scroll through all the different levels, and as you see, when you click on the level, there's 3 different little mini stages in each chapter. And at the end of each chapter, when you beat each 3 stages, you face a boss. You either face King DDD, and these 2 other guys. I'm not really sure what their names are. One of them's a cloud with a little eyeball in the middle, and the other guy's like a little circular yellow guy who's kind of like a painter. And there's the bosses aren't very difficult, but it adds a little bit of challenge to the game, I guess. So as you see here, you see all these little guys. It's the same environment and same great atmosphere as all Kirby games. And I'll turn up the music here so you guys can hear it. They still have all the original soundtracks, and the music is really great, but it's not the same. You draw these little lines, and you guide them through the levels. And while this stage seems pretty simplistic, it gets really tough as you progress through the game, because you have all kinds of different obstacles you have to face. And there's even mini puzzles within the levels that just drove me nuts. And I got this game a few days ago, and I completed the first 7 chapters in the first night I had it, and I haven't picked it up since just because it pissed me off. It's so freaking annoying. But as you can see, you still get the abilities that Kirby had in some of the other games. You can get the beam. You can turn into a little fireball, ice. You can turn into a rock. So all the original abilities and things like that are still there, but the concept that I've grown to love of the Kirby series is just obviously not there, and that's why I don't really like this game that much. But if you're looking for something different, this is definitely a game to try out, although I think it's pretty expensive. This game's kind of becoming more of a rare game, I think, and harder to find, just because was one of the first DS games, and that kind of launched with the system. So it's not as easily accessible, and especially not at a decent price. So, and at the end of each level here, you have that was pathetic. You have a chance to earn some extra coins to earn some lives, but okay, get 20 coins here. But yeah, it's a pretty decent game. The sound and the music in the game is very great. The replay value is okay. Here you see in each chapter you have 9 coins that you have to try and collect, and if you collect them, then you can go back to the main menu here and do this metal swap thing, and you can unlock a lot of the original songs, and you can even unlock new characters like King DDD and a few others. I can't even think of the names right now. I'm sorry, you guys. Waddle Dee, I think, is one of them. But yeah, and then you have like little sub games here. They're like little mini games. I'll show you guys one of those real quick. See, this is what a boss of King DDD looks like. You have to kind of drag your stylus up and down and collect all these foods. And the more food you collect, obviously, the faster you go. And you have to try and avoid all of the obstacles in between and race into the finish. So, pretty creative, especially, you know, for one of the launch games for the DS. But, it's still, like I said, guys, I can't say this or stress this enough. It's just not Kirby, and it's just not a game that I'd really and truly recommend to casual DS owners. It's not a must-have. If you're a DS collector like myself, you know, as I already said, then this game is definitely worth getting. But it's not a must-have. So there's that. And that's about it. I mean, there's not much more to say about this game other than if, you know, you're more into the original Kirby for like the Super Nintendo, then, and you want to pick up a good Kirby game for your DS, then I would just stick with Kirby Super Star Ultra or Kirby Squad, sorry, because those games stick to the original Kirby storyline and plot and gameplay. So, yes, not a great game. If I had to rate this out of 10, I'd probably give it about a 6. And the chances of me picking this game back up are probably pretty moderately low, stealing a little catchphrase from Game Informer magazine. The chances of me picking this up are not very great. Just not a solid title. But it was good fun for about an hour and a half, I'll tell you that, until I started cursing at the little Kirby here. Kind of pissed me off. So, not a great game, guys. Alright, and as always, guys, thanks for watching.